Hello everyone, today we have a set review of the brand new LEGO Star Wars Imperial Dropship versus Rebel Scout Speeder. This set is a revamped combination of two classic LEGO Star Wars sets. Here, LEGO combined the legendary 2008 Rebel Scout Speeder and Imperial Dropship into this new set, and it seems pretty great at first glance. Looking at the box, we can see it'll come with 383 pieces and 7 minifigures. $40 will be the price point of the set, which seems fair enough. I love this rewind to two classic sets that are now ready to be revamped and resent out to a whole new generation. I myself have a lot of nostalgia for these two sets, specifically the Rebel Scout Speeder. I grew up with that set, and it's one of my favorites of all time, especially when you're talking about battle packs. One of the best. So ever since we got the first set leaks for the set, I was super pumped, and I knew I was going to pick it up day one. I'm sure it was like that for a lot of you too who grew up with these sets. That being said, I think it's still going to be a pretty good set for new people who didn't grow up with those sets. These builds just look good, it seems to be a good package and nice army builder, and overall I think it'll just be a nice set. Of course we won't know till we open it. One quick thing before we get into this review though I need to mention is that this set is going to have a limited lifespan. Whereas most sets last a few years, this set's only going to be on shelves for around 3 months. It's going to last until 2025, and then it'll be gone for good. So with that said, if you like what you see in the review, make sure to pick it up sooner rather than later. I'd hate for anyone to miss out on this opportunity, because if you're like me, you've been looking forward to the set for a long time. Now let's waste no more time and open this box. I've been sitting here waiting for so long to do it, so let's get into it. Before we get into the plastic, I want to mention this set does come with 2 instructions. I love that inclusion because it makes it really easy to build with a friend, especially in a set like this where it's 2 separate builds. Now let's keep on moving and get into the actual set where we'll start with the minifigures. The Imperials are missing their Shadow Trooper included in the previous sets, but the 3 normal Stormtroopers are still here. They have the same old oversized helmets we've gotten used to, but the bodies are newer and they look stunning. The prints look more refined, and the change from black to white hips might seem small, but it's actually a huge improvement. Now, this isn't the first set with these white hips, but it is one of the better ones for army building, making it very valuable for those fans. These guys all have different heads underneath, with some fun expressions, and in totality, you have a very nice squad here for the Imperials, even if we're missing that Shadow Trooper. Looking at the Rebel Fleet Troopers again just feels amazing. These are the same minifigures from the Boarding the Tantive 4 set, but I just love how many we're seeing now from LEGO after their very long absence. The helmets are iconic, and the prints from front to back look spectacular. There's just something about the way these guys look that I love. One extra thing to note is all the heads are double-sided, which is a nice addition. I really like this guy who looks like he's ready to run from battle. I'm absolutely ecstatic about being able to collect these guys again, and in a similar way to how we saw them from 2008. Altogether, these 6 troops look perfectly in place. It's a great lineup of figures that lends itself perfectly to what this set is trying to be, a big versus battle pack. It was disappointing to only see 3 of each, but the builds are far more intricate than a typical battle pack, so I can see where the value shifted to. All in all though, I love the look of these 6 together, and I definitely can recommend the set based on its figures. It's super fun for playing with and battling, but the army building capabilities will be the main draw for most people. The final figure to talk about is QTKT. This is the extra anniversary figure for the set, and I like it a lot more than I initially thought. The pink is vibrant and has some good prints. The back is missing printing though, which isn't as nice. While back printing is still kind of 50-50 on Astromechs, I feel like for an anniversary figure, this should be present. This isn't my favorite anniversary figure, but it is a nice one, and it works as a nice bonus piece. Moving on to our builds, we'll look at the Imperial Dropship first. The build had a large change, and is still somehow recognizable as the classic piece, because it did a great job of reinventing itself with this sleek ship. The new design is a neat change, and it has a striking look to it. I love the color scheme, and the build looked like it pulled straight from Legends. Right below the engines is the dropship feature. In this area you can set 2 stormtroopers, and there's even a rack for the blasters included. To drop the troops off, you pull on the seats connected by a clip. It's a solid mechanism, but somewhat simple. The old way was a lot more fluid, using Technic pieces. The other big difference that you might notice is that there are only 2 seats. This fits fine for this set in particular, but it's unfortunate to see the amount of seats has gone down every time, from 4 spots in 2008 to 3 in 2021, and then finally 2 spots in 2024. It's not a deal breaker, but I feel as if a dropship should have more than 2 seats. Other than that though, it's still a fun feature to mess around with. Spinning around to the front, we have a huge cockpit. This is where the Shadow Trooper went in the past, but here we'll just have to settle for a normal Stormtrooper. It's kind of a tight fit, but it has just enough room. The cockpit has a neat blue tint to it as well, tying it perfectly in with the rest of the ship. Right below that, you'll notice the stud shooters, which are always a fun feature. I do, however, wish those could have been integrated better. Out of the whole build, though, there aren't too many glaring problems to complain about. The dropship is a well thought out build. All the Imperial troops and build look great together, but it does feel like one figure is missing. Version of the ship. Unfortunately, I don't have the original, but this version is a lot more faithful to the 2008 variant, making it a good supplement. The 20th anniversary version is more nostalgic, but I'd be lying if I said this new model isn't cool too. It has some sleek new ideas, but I do think it strays a little too far from the original concept. Next, let's look at the highlight for the set, the Rebel Speeder. It looks gorgeous. It takes the original design and turns it into a perfect piece that looks like it was pulled straight from Star Wars lore. The curves create a beautiful speeder, and the stickers make the build look that much more detailed. The turret looks fantastic as well. It even has some stud shooters. But my favorite part is that they made it removable from the speeder, just like the old version. It's a nice nod to the old set and helps keep it a faithful remake, even when it looks a lot different. When I set all the troops in, I was hit with a wave of nostalgia. It holds one less troop than before, but it feels exactly like it did in 2008. I absolutely love this build. From the beautiful work with the curves and slopes at the bottom, all the way to the heavily detailed turret at the top. This build is the updated version I've been waiting for. Pulling out my old set, you can see the direct comparison. The new set feels like a natural progression from the classic build. It captures it perfectly while also carrying over all of its defining features. As much as I love the old one, this new one blows me away. So clearly, you can tell I'm in love with this Rebel build. It's so sleek, and I don't know how anyone could not love it. It's a very good design, and I love it. It looks like it's straight from Star Wars Legends, which is very neat. And I can honestly say the same thing about the Imperial Dropship too. It might not be quite as good as the Rebel Speeder, but it's still very nice, holds its own, and creates a very good set with a good army building capabilities and solid builds. I really have a hard time saying anything too negative. I think they did a great job here. It's going to be a great set for older fans like me who have that nostalgia, but for newer fans, it's still going to be a super neat set that you'll want to pick up. And $40 is a price tag that seems fitting to me. I've seen some people complain that the $40 and then only the 6 figures, well, 7 including the anniversary, but the 6 figures of the 3 Stormtroopers, then the 3 Rebel Scout Troopers, that is different from what it used to be. In the Battle Pack form, 3 Stormtroopers, 1 Shadow Trooper, and then 4 regular Rebel Scout Troopers. Now you're only getting 3 Stormtroopers, 3 Rebel Scout Troopers, so it kind of feels like less, even though I don't think it's an issue. The builds here are much bigger, better, and just well designed and crafted that I think it makes up that price point, and for $40, I still think it's a very good deal. So you can probably tell that I am very much for this set and think you should buy it. It's a very good deal, and it's only going to be around for 3 months, so it's probably not going to go on sale, so I would just bite the bullet now. Make sure you get it if you really want it, because it could end up selling out before the end of the year. One thing I'm super interested to see for this set is how it works with that smaller window of release. Last year's holiday dioramas followed the same window of 3 months, but it made more sense because it was a holiday set, It just should be around for that time and then, gone for good. That's no big deal. Plus, it wasn't nearly as sought after. This set, on the other hand, will be. It's going to be very popular. It has a lot of figures that people want to army build, buy a lot of, and the builds are very nice. So I'm very curious as to see how this works out with this limited time span and when these actually sell out, if they go on sale at all, that type of thing. So my only major complaint about this set is its 3-month release window. It's not really even against the set though, I don't hold it against it. It's just something unfortunate that I wish LEGO really didn't do. It's a very good set, and I think it should have been here longer than 3 months. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like that's the case, so we're just going to have to live with that. All in all, it's just a very nice throwback set. Fun for old fans, good for new fans, and it's just a solid set all around. And with that said, I want to thank you all for stopping by this review. Let me know in the comments if you agree or if you're going to. I myself will probably be getting at least a few more before this set retires. I just really love the figures, the builds, everything. It's a very solid set that I can recommend to all of you. And with that said, I just want to thank you again for watching. Remember to like and subscribe for more. And until next time, I'll see you guys later.